If the success or failure metric of a weapon-mounted light is based on its ability to handle recoil and continue to function, then the Nitecore NPL25 can be considered a success. That is it, guys. Have a good week. Peace out. No, I'm kidding. Guys, in this video, I'm going to review Nitecore's NPL25 weapon-mounted light. This is the very first weapon-mounted light that I get from Nitecore. It spent most of its life on Michel's Canic MC9. I have also run it on my Glock 19, which I'm going to show you in this video. Guys, also in this video, I'm giving away a Holosun Red Dot to one of my patrons. I'm also announcing my next giveaway, which is going to be the biggest giveaway I've ever done on Patreon. So if you're enjoying Patreon, it's the first link in the video description below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, it's the first comment. The Nitecore NPL25 is listed as a 900 lumen 16,000 candela flashlight. Now, while I do agree it might have 900 lumens, I think they are underestimating the candela rating. If my memory serves me correctly, my Streamlight TRR1HL runs 20,000 candela, and in my opinion, the candela or hotspot or beam intensity of the Nitecore NPL25 is slightly higher than that of my Streamlight. Maybe my eyes are going, but when I switched this guy on for the first time, I thought to myself, man, that is a super tight beam. This being my first Nitecore weapon-mounted light, I wanted to put it through quite a substantial amount of rounds before I did this review on the Nitecore NPL25, and it's functioned without an issue. And the thing I like about weapon-mounted lights is that it's one of the only firearm accessories that does something that the standard firearm can't do. Sights, your firearm comes with sights, triggers, all those things, grips, grip textures, all those things come with your base firearm. A weapon-mounted light provides you with an advantage that the base firearm does not have at all. So I see no reason why you shouldn't go for it. Now, in the world of weapon-mounted lights, there are many options. You know, you got the full-sized, and then you also have your compacts, but you've got very few options for subcompact. Now, while this does fit quite nicely onto my Glock, and I'll show you shots of how it fits in a second, this does fit also really nicely on Michel's MC9, and I feel like it's more designed for the subcompact / compact, definitely more for the subcompact and compact world versus the full-size firearm. But there aren't many options for the subcompact. So where Nitecore does it differently is they've got like a track inside, and this doesn't actually move the outside rail on most of these compact / subcompact lights where the light can fit multiple firearms. This section here moves. On the Nitecore, there's a track, and you press this button right here inwards, and that then allows this track to move freely. So that then allows it to mount onto any file. I'm not going to show you how I mounted onto my Glock because YouTube freaks out about things like that. But that's how it looks on a Glock 19 when it's slid all the way back. Obviously, you can slide it up and down. And what I do like is that all these firearms are empty and safe, by the way, guys. When you tighten it down, it's got a nice tactile ratcheting sound. It ratchets down quite nice, and that is what it looks like on a Glock 19. Now, obviously, for these things, holsters are very important. There's no point in carrying a weapon-mounted light, or even owning a weapon-mounted light, excuse me, if you can't carry it. The Shinobi Kydex Katana holster for the Streamlight TLR7A fits the sucker absolutely perfectly. You are going to have no problems. And then that's for the Glock, and for the MC9, Shinobi Kydex does make a holster that fits this light absolutely perfectly. One of the things that does kind of bug me about this light are these switches. As per usual on small or compact weapon-mounted lights, the switches are also small and compact. This is something I don't understand by weapon-mounted light manufacturers. It's not something that is specific to Nitecore. I know Olight do it as well. Streamlight do it as well. I don't see the understanding or reason behind it when you can create really cool toggles like this that we create these tiny little switches. With training, you can sort of get really comfortable and really used to running it. I really put in a lot of time getting used to the switches on the Nitecore NPL25 because I want to make sure that as my first Nitecore weapon mounted light review, I really push this thing to the limit. Doing one reload ones and drawing from the holster, you can easily function the light as per is standard in the weapon mounted light world. Both the switches on the left and right hand side, pressing and holding is for momentary on and the tap is for constant on. I very rarely use the momentary on any light other than my Streamlight TLR1HL, because all lights are momentary on if you just press the button again. The Nitecore comes with a removable battery. You'll see a little switch or toggle at the back. You slide that sucker upwards and the battery then slides out. This is quite cool because theoretically you could have multiple batteries, and that way you can always keep your NPL25 topped up. The charging cable is a USB type C cable on the one side. This will attach to your plug or your laptop, whatever the case may be, and then on the other side it's got a proprietary charging attachment which attaches to those three pieces, those three dots over there, like so. Okay, it's a magnetic attachment. It's not the world's strongest magnet, but I mean, you're not going to be running around with the charging cable attached to the actual battery. That's a pro and a con. You know, I like that you can take the battery off and charge it. The light will fit in a holster without the battery. So if you do need to run your firearm and your battery is charging, you can. But I don't like that it's a proprietary charging cable, because you lose this cable, you can't charge your light. And that bugs me. You know, why not just make it USB-C, and problem solved? But I suppose Nitecore do have their reasons. And then it basically just slots back in. I'll try to show you better like this. Slots back in like so with a nice tactile click. There is also a battery level indicator. I can tell you I have not charged this light since I've got it. So I'm not actually even sure what it's on. You and me are about to find out at the same time. What is it? 2. So that's 50 to 25%. When I've shot with this on Michelle's MC9, I find that the switches tend to extend into the trigger guard a bit too much for me. That's not the problem, because you can obviously move this forward and backwards, but Michelle's fingers are obviously a bit thinner than mine, so she doesn't have that issue. So there is it is nice that you can move this a bit more forward just to make sure it doesn't protrude too much into the trigger guard. I have found it doesn't affect the ability to carry it in the holster. Now guys, just before I give you my final thoughts on the Nitecore NPL25, I want to talk to you about this week's Patreon giveaway and the next one. So obviously at the end of this video, I'm giving away a Holosun red dot to one of my patrons. Then for the end of June, beginning of July, I'm giving away a Mechanic M01 red dot. Now hold it, right? Besides the Mechanic M01, I'm also giving away one of these. And the answer is no, I'm not talking about the weapon mounted light. I'm going to be giving away a Canic MC9. Now, this is going to be a community giveaway, so everyone is going to stand a chance to win. But if you are a patron, sit back and relax. Your name is already in. If you are a patron, this is what's going to happen. Your name is going to be entered as a potential competition winner. Then you're going to get more entries just because you're a patron. Then you're going to get more entries for every single month that you have been a patron. So those guys who've been a patron for ages, there's Tyrone, for example, who's been a patron since the beginning. I think he was one of my first patrons. He's going to get his name entered, then multiple entries, then something like 24 more entries for every month he was a patron. The kicker here is we are going to be giving away firearms on a regular basis. I think every quarter. Michelle and I have been working tirelessly with Canic, and I do have to commend Canic and Michelle and myself kind of, because I have a day job and we have these meetings after hours with Canic to make these kinds of things possible. So if you're a patron, relax, you are in the competition to win a Canic MC9. If you're not a patron, I'm going to be doing a video soon where I explain to you how you can enter. It's going to be, it's a process, well, not a long process. You have to click a link basically. but the link will be in my video description in a future video. Let's switch the view and give away a Hollow Sun red dot. Okay guys, so by now you know the drill. This is a list of my active patrons. Sorry for the sound of the mic changing. I'm basically using a gaming headset to do this on my PC. We have 195 active patrons. I'm going to copy those names and paste them into a name randomizer. This is going to randomize the order of those names. So let's hit randomize, and there are 195 randomized names. I'm then going to go back to Excel and take the numbers that correspond with those names and paste them into a random wheel of names. And let's go back here. So let's paste this in here and just scroll down to make sure all 195 are in there. I'm just going to backspace. You can see entries 195. I'm now going to shuffle those entries and I'm going to click to spin. And basically the number this lands on is going to be the winner of that Hollow Sun red dot. So the winner is number 172. Let's close that. Check 172 here. 172 is going to be Usama Hamid. So well done to you, Usama. I'm going to hook you up with that red dot. I'll make contact with you on Patreon and get your details. So well done to that patron winner. I do want you to know, just because you've won this competition doesn't exempt you from the next one. You might literally win the Mechanic MO1 red dot as well as the actual Canic MC9 that we're giving away in a month's time. Guys, jump onto Patreon because we're going to be doing this often, and the advantage for patrons are huge. I want to say huge thank you to my patrons because you guys literally keep this channel alive. Guys, the Nitecore NPL25 in the world of compact / subcompact weapon mounted lights, I do really quite like it because it is sort of kicking or sort of punching, way above its weight class. It's got full size light output in a compact / subcompact form factor, which I really appreciate. Could the switches be bigger? Yes, it could, but you could say that of pretty much any compact / subcompact weapon mounted light. That 16,000 candela for me really feels more like it's 25 or 20,000 candela. But if it's stated 16, then let's call it 16. But you definitely don't struggle for beam intensity. I definitely think it is a viable option now that there are holsters available for it for the subcompact community, because you are carrying a subcompact or / compact light that is giving you the same output as your full-sized weapon-mounted lights. This being my first Nitecore weapon-mounted light, I was a bit skeptical in the beginning, but having put it through its tests, or having put it through its paces, I feel quite confident for Michelle to run this light. Guys, I have spoken to Nitecore. They are pushing to release this in South Africa soon, so I'll definitely let you guys know when it is released. I got the pre-released model, so as soon as it does come out, I will let you know. Guys, don't forget to join on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any other videos, and especially look out for that video where I explain to everyone how you can win a Canic MC9. That is it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.